Hello, welcome back to week 4, part 2. Okay, back to our power and the introduction of the Ho'oponopono using Dr. Joe Vitale and Dr. Hugh Lynn's collaboration as a resource. And there are 6 basic principles to the Ho'oponopono. And I'm going to read to you what these 6 principles actually comprise of and what it actually does for you, okay? So, the first basic principle is you don't have a clue what is going on. Let's admit it. It's impossible to be aware of everything happening in and around you consciously or unconsciously. Right now, our bodies and our minds are regulating themselves without us even really being aware of it. Okay? We're not telling the heart to beat. The heart is beating. That's what we don't have control over. Okay? And there are numerous invisible signals in the air for radio waves, thought forms that we have no conscious sense of at all. So while we are indeed co-creating our own reality right now, it is happening unconsciously without our conscious knowledge or control. This is why you can think positive thoughts all you like and still be broke. Your conscious mind isn't the creator. On to basic principle number 2. You don't have control over everything. Whew, okay, let that sink in. You don't have control over everything. Do you have a little bit of control issues? I know. I do. Okay? So this keeps me mindful, keeps me cleaning. And what he writes is, obviously, if you don't know everything that's happening, you can't control it all. It's an ego trip to think you can make the world do your bidding. Since your ego can't see much of what is going on in the world right now, letting your ego decide what is best for you isn't wise. You have choice, but you don't have control. You can use your conscious mind to begin to choose what you would prefer to experience. But you have to let go of whether you manifest it or not, or how, or when. Surrender is the key. I repeat, surrender is the key. All right, now, principle number 3. You can heal whatever comes your way. Inhale on that and then exhale. Whatever appears in your life, no matter how it got there, is up for healing simply because it's now on your radar. The assumption here is that if you can feel it, you can heal it. If you can see it in someone else and it bothers you, then it's up for healing. And he says, or as I'm told Oprah once said, as he was told, if you can spot it, you got it. You may have no idea why it's in your life or how it got there, but you can let it go because you're now aware of it. That right there, that is so real. Because you ever wonder how you'll be thinking about something and next thing you know, it's coming up in your life? Whatever shows up, we can heal it. Okay? Let's see here. And then it says, the more you heal what comes up, the clearer you are to manifest what you prefer. Because you will be freeing stuck energy to use for other matters. That's how this even started. That's how emotional physical therapy even started. Was about healing what comes up. Unsticking that energy so that it can flow out, be transmuted, and come back to me as my power. All right? Basic principle number 4. You ready for this one? All right, let's take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Let's get for this number 4. You are, me, 100% responsible for all that we experience. You are 100% responsible for what you experience. What happens in your life is not your fault. but it is your responsibility. The concept of personal responsibility goes beyond what you say, do, and think. It includes what others say, do, and think that shows up in your life. If you take complete responsibility for all that happened, that appears in your life, then when someone surfaces with a problem, then it is your problem too. This ties into principle 3, which states you can heal whatever comes your way. In short, you can't blame anyone or anything for your current reality. Need to breathe right there? Okay, come on. All right. All you can do is take responsibility for it, which means accept it, own it, and love it. The more you heal what comes up, the more you get in tune with the source. All right? The more we heal what comes up, the more we get in tune with the source. Principle 5. Your ticket to zero limits. And that's the title of this book, which is that if we clean, then we will have no limitations whatsoever in our life. That's why in the workbook, you're tapping on your limiting beliefs. You're cleaning. See, I'm giving you, this is boot camp. We got 40 days to change our minds. 40 days to detoxify the mind. Begin the process of changing your mind. Not saying that at the end of 40 days, your whole mind will be changed, because we've been living this life for a while now. So we got a lot of stuff built up that needs to be cleaned. However, if you look at it from the perspective of, I am cleaning for the rest of my life, then life has purpose. All right? So your ticket to zero limits is saying the phrase, I love you. That's principle 5. The path that you get, the path that gets you peace beyond all understanding, from healing to manifestation, is the simple phrase, I love you. I'm going to repeat that. The path, as in a pass to go somewhere, that gets you peace beyond all understanding, from healing to manifestation, is the simple phrase, I love you. Saying it to the divine cleans everything in you so you can experience the miracle of this moment. Zero limits. See, and I love you. There are no limits. There are no limits. There are no limits. The idea is to love everything. Love the extra fat, that's what you're dealing with, the addiction, the problem child or neighbor or spouse. Love it all. Love transmutes the stuck energy and frees it. Saying I love you is the open sesame to experience the divine. Ooh, yes. And now for principle number 6. Inspiration is more important than intention. Hold on. You may be saying, well, wait a minute, I've been told to set my intentions. Just listen up to this, what he writes. Intention is a toy of the mind. Inspiration is a directive from the divine. I can tell you, as soon as I read that, I was like, finally. Because especially for us hypersensitives, us empaths, light workers, starseeds, for us to set an intention is going back to that whole thing of trying to be in control of everything. And remember, surrender is key. And so inspiration is a directive from the divine. At some point, you'll surrender and start listening rather than begging and waiting. You know what that feels like, remember? Remember begging, waiting, begging, wait, please, please, please. Praying to the divine as if it's like you got to go through some kind of obstacle course. Like, well, no, you must do. No. Surrender. Just surrender. Just surrender. All right? Intention is trying to control life based on the limited view of the ego. Inspiration is receiving a message from the divine and then acting on it. Intention works and brings results. Inspiration works and brings miracles. Which do you prefer? All right, so with that, we're going to clean on whatever blocks your ego was trying to throw at you as I was reading those 6 basic principles. All right, so allow that. Whatever comes up, remember, it's our responsibility to clean. If you spot it, you got it. Inhale, close your eyes, exhale slowly out of your mouth. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Get ready for week 5.